Hello again, everyone, and welcome. I am Gary Gatzo, the voice of the FIS, and you are watching coverage of Championship Thursday, otherwise known as Round 10 of Season 6 of the Formula Indy Series, coming to you from Elkhart Lake for the Road America 125, presented by JSelmants, Motorsports Art. Joining me in the booth, as always, all season long, is my good pal, Stephen Larkamp. Stephen, I think we are here at the end of the season. I think pretty much everyone all the championships are mostly decided, as we see by the math right now. It's just, I think, a matter of just taking some green flags and then cruising around for the next 31 laps before we can start celebrating season-end championships.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that our championship leader, Mitch Welker, has to do at the start of this race. The main thing for him to do is take the green flag, but knowing Mitch, he's definitely also going to be searching for yet another win to notch up on a fantastic season, if I'm being honest here. It's been a great season all around, but Welker has gone above and beyond, and he is looking to be and finish this one off with a bang, as we are going to be starting our qualifying laps here, and it's rather overcast, I should note. And also, one thing I should definitely note, rather unusual for the FIS, but given we're on a huge track where you really only have enough time for 5 laps here, these guys are going to be running solo each lap, and it's going to be 4 laps to decide it. So it's going to be real interesting to see what these guys are going to try and strategy-wise here on this qualifying run, and what they can pull off here, because the top times between Bensi and Welker, they have been looking very tight so far.
Now, no one's actually put a time in yet officially. I don't see anything on the charts.
Having a look at Caleb Bensi, he's going around the carousel here on his first hot lap here. A couple of drivers I saw, I think I was looking at Michael DeTurk a bit earlier, was just coasting along up the front straightaway on the start of his lap here. He may be saving it for his second, maybe even third lap, likely second lap here, because with the what we in open wheel is called the qualifying cloud here, the cloud cover we have, it gives you a lot of grip when the tires are up to temp, but that is a pretty big if here. And if you're going to be saving that, you want to go easy on the tires here, but just enough to get them up to temperature, as Bensi coming up the hill across the line, 42.4 on his first lap. Pulls it over immediately, and he's going to reset the car for another attempt. Mitch Welker, once again, on the provisional pole,
flat.
142 even.
Yeah,
wow.
4/10 quicker. Well, people reset, and the initial laps are coming in. Let's bring over and talk about the points really quick. We'll hide the track map here. Here are the points for the Drivers' Championship. So these are the all of the drivers with the P next to their last name, the professionals, so to speak. Mitch Welker with a big lead over Caleb, 355 to 306, which basically means all really Welker needs to do is start the race. That's kind of what it boils down to. There might have been some scenarios going into the last race, but most of those kind of dried up with the dominance that Mitch showed. And just to kind of tell you the dominance that Mitch showed coming down the stretch here. Let me bring this up here for the season. I can do this. Seasons. I'm going to just bring it into Sim Racer Hub here. He has won the last 2, 3 of the last 4, and 4 of the last 6. So that's all second half. Remember when we were watching him earlier in the season, and maybe you weren't here for a couple of those, where he was just having the momentary lapses of concentration, little errors here and there that would cost him. He's just making up for it in this whole entire second half of the season. So congratulations to him, as he looks like he's sailing toward his second series championship. Caleb Bensi is second, which is going to be a long story for Caleb. Despite cracking through last season, he's finished in the top 3 just about every single season that the FIS has been around, with the exception of 1. Gavin Sanders, who we have not seen for a number of weeks, is still managing to hold on to third place. If Logan Spath can get a good finish in today, he might just generate enough points to cruise past Gavin into third and get that very elusive third spot on the podium here for only one podium finish all season long. Also, coming on strong here late in the season, Michael DeTurk with a fifth place, tied with our amateur leader, Dan Marrera, and sixth. Zach Flaum, Byron Daly, Hunter Ingrave, and Dakota DeMate. They are the remainder of the top 10.
And speaking of Hunter Engrab, he's moved up into second place. 142.3, very good run for the 49 team. And same for Logan Spath, actually. He's qualified fourth at the moment. And the top five are the only drivers to break into the 142. Seems to be a pretty high watermark to go for. And the closest one outside the bubble there is Michael DeTurk of 43 even. Having a look at Hunter Engrab coming up the hill. Bit squeamish there off the final corner for that number 49 on lap number 2. And that was a warm-up lap for him. He's very much reset the car immediately after he crossed the start-finish line and took another hot lap out here. That's a common strategy I see a lot of drivers do here at Road America. With a track this big, you want as fresh tires as you can, and Engrab really getting dancy there through turn number 3, I should say. Not what he wants to see heading down the hill towards turn number 5.
Welker just bettered his lap with a 141.7. Moving on to the amateur points. Marrera with a nearly a 30-point lead over Digby. I believe Digby is not in the lineup, so that should all but clinch the amateur standings for my hero, Big Dan Marrera. All he needs to do is really take the green flag, and he should be official. Kyle Allen is third, Sam McDougall fourth, Cody Claiborne in the finish car is fifth, Schlosser, Oak, Herman, Goyette, and Reval round out the top 10. Team point wise, and we'll get back to the last minute of qualifying here. Stowe Maroon is, looks like they've done all but everything. I think actually they have clinched the championship for the team championship. So we'll be talking to both the Stowe drivers, which would be Bincy and Spath, at the end of today's race to get their feelings on winning the team championship. I'm sure they would like to trade that in for the drivers championship, but we shall see as we are getting closer and closer to getting qualifying. Over a minute left here. Anything popping up that's new? Spath P2.
Engrab had an off track going through Canada corner, it looks like, and that has cost him his lap time, and that is really going to be all that she rode here. And whoa, really squeamish there. But it won't be enough, I don't think. Logan Spath now up into P2. What a brilliant run there for the number 3 team. Caleb Bensy's the one I'm keeping an eye on, though. This is his last shot. The question I have is, has he left enough time on the clock?
I don't know.
All the way around, only 30 seconds left.
I don't know. He's not yet to the carousel. 20 seconds remaining. I don't think so.
I don't believe so either, unfortunately, for Caleb Bensy, and that looks like it's going to be 4th place, all things being equal here. Zach Fahm is done his run. Sam McDougall out on their run as well, but again, they're not going to make it to the start-finish line before the checker flag is out, and there it is. And that is going to be a tough start for Caleb Bensy. We'll be starting 4th tonight. But that's saying we got a really competitive field here, especially with all things considered here. I think the draft could well help some of these guys as well. Of course, you have got to get your pit strategies right at Road America. So much could go wrong here. And
another point for Welker in the championship for getting the pole. So again, that's just making things cinching them up tighter and tighter and tighter. Here we go for today's starting lineup one more time this season. Mr. Larkamp, would you please do the honors? And it is once again going to be Mitch Welker. Number 76 will be on the pole, the only driver in the 141s. 141.759. Alongside him will be the 3 of Logan Spath, one of his best qualifying efforts I've seen of him for quite a while. Hunter Engrab, very, very fast in terms of pace. What can he do
to get all the way to the checkers. That has been a bit of an issue lately. We'll see what he can do. He starts third in the 49 alongside the 1 of Caleb Bensi. Zach Fahm in the 20 will start off 5th alongside Sam McDougall's number 13. The Fish Car, Cody Claiborne will start in number 31 in 7th alongside Michael DeTurk's number 47 machine in 8th. The 444, Dan Morea, will be starting off 9th in that fight for the amateur championship alongside Frankie Franchicha in the number 98. That is your top 10. Michael Costello in the number 8 had a good pace last time out at Interlagos. Ultimately didn't amount to too much in the end, but he will start 11th alongside the 999 of Kyle Allen in 12th. Jody Selmetz, friend of the channel and sponsor of tonight's race no less, will be starting 13th in the number 9 alongside Mia Ray Svensson, who has been having great runs so far, so this is a bit of a struggle for her in 14th spot in the number 96. Dakota DeMay making his return in the 82 will start 15th alongside Nick Goyette in the number 12. Jared Wakefield in the 725 will start off 17th alongside Hayden Herman in the 77 in 18th. Dan Miglin, my man Diglin, in the 19th spot in the number 4. Yes, I saw what they did there. Yep. Alongside Peter Donchak in the 17 car. That's your top 20. And the final 4 drivers left have not posted qualifying times. Indica Scarlet's number 64, Kevin Bonomi's number 75, the 906 of Andy Oak, and shotgun on the field, the 23 of Fabian Saavedra. It's going to be 31 laps here in beautiful Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And what a place, I think, to cap off a great season.
I think so, too. I really do. Go ahead.
Yeah, naturally, it's rather interestingly in real life, it never really has been a season finale track. It's always been a good race in the mid-season.
Yep.
But for me, a classic like Road America is always a good one to come back to in the end. It used to be Laguna Seca for a time, including recently. But Road America, to me, is one I've always loved. It's up there with Watkins Glen, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's Laguna Seca is this weekend in the real world. Normally we don't see them this early in the season, not since the early 2000s, thereabout. But I do want to talk about our sponsor, Joey Selmetz. He does motorsports art, hand-drawn motorsports art. And today's coverage is sponsored by JSelmants Motorsports Art. Get your own hand-drawn racing art of your favorite driver, livery, team, or motorsports moment to hang in your home. To see more of Joey's work or to contact him for your own commission, follow him on Instagram. The link is in the description. And I'm going to put up on the screen here some examples of his artwork there. Just a little bit of everything. IndyCar, Formula One, IMSA. I want to thank him for sponsoring today's event. It's the Road America 125. It's just 124, but you can't really do 125 miles here evenly. So it's going to be the 124, but it's really the 120. We're calling it the 125.
Yeah, and who's really being that pedantic about it?
No, not for the last race of the season, for sure. Certainly not. 17 seconds here. We're all going to line up here real quick. Kart track record. When Kart ran here, Paul Tracy at 139.6. The IndyCar track record set last year with the new fresh pavement is Colton Herta with the 140.8. Career wins leaders here. Basically, it's a who of IndyCar royalty. Mario Andretti with 3, Emerson Fittipaldi with 3, Michael Andretti with 3, each with 3 wins, of course. Palou with 2, Newgarden with 2, Dixon with 2, Junqueira, that's a name that we don't talk about a lot. He has 2, Paul Tracy 2, and the Villeneuve family. Both jocks have 1 here, so there's 2 for the Villeneuve family.
Well then.
And then Hector Ribacchi won the first ever race here at Road America, and it was originally it was untelevised. And I thought this was the last race that they were going to have here that was ever untelevised, but actually I was wrong. In 86, due to rescheduling Road America, it was pushed back to October, and that year was not televised. So the last untelevised IndyCar race was actually still here at Road America back in 86. All right, that's it. We're getting ready to go racing, guys.
Yep, one last time this season. Everyone's starting to line up. Of course, yet again, I'd like to say we have standing starts here. This is always going to be fun, especially in cars like these that are typically not used to it, but these guys have learned it quite well recently. And it's just going to be one more time. Waiting on Logan Spath to join up on the
Spath has to start from the start. He has to start from the pits. Yeah.
Oh, yes, you're right. Logan Spath has to start from the pits. But the revs are coming up. We're getting ready. Green flag flies. We are racing in Wisconsin. And Welker with a good start. Engrave tucking in behind them. Caleb Bensi slotting in as well. Getting themselves into order as they head into turn number 1. Looking pretty clean so far through 1 and 2. Down through turn number 3.
Contact.
Oh, one off in the back. Trying to see who...
That's Franchica.
Frankie Franchica is number 98 off and just clips that tire barrier there. Might be able to keep it going. But they head down towards turn number 5. One of the best overtaking spots on the track. Engrave right in the wheel tracks of Welker. Can he hang on to it as they're fighting for position there? Looking a bit further back here. And I think Kyle Allen's actually got some damage. I'm seeing him limp that 999 around. Sam McDougall and Zach Fahm, though, fighting it out for 4th. A big dive bomb move behind. Trying to see who that was. Michael Costello, it looked like. Just goes full send on the 31 of Cody Claiborne. But it's going to be Welker through the kink. And Engrave now coming under pressure from Caleb Bensi. And Bensi gets his right sides nearly in the grass as he takes it down the inside into Canada corner. Can Engrave get the run on him? Very tricky to pass here, of course. So Bensi, bit of a twitch there, but it looks like it's going to be Bensi moving up into P2. From officially 4th on the grid, up into 2nd. What can he do against Welker? But it is going to be the 76 across the line, leading that first lap. So it's Welker, Bensi, Engrave, DeTurk, Zach Fahm, Sam McDougall, Michael Costello, Cody Claiborne, Dan Maria, and Joey Selmets up 3 spots already into P10. And very close stuff in that battle as well. That's Mia Ray Svensson behind him, and she's looking to move down to the inside into turn number 5. Svensson on the reds, I should note. Selmets on the blacks, and Logan Spath moving up into this fight as well after starting from the pits. And contact there. Selmets almost lost his front wing there, but it just materialized yet again. Yeah, iRacing's netcode loves to play some tricks on us sometimes, but Mia Ray Svensson, very close stuff. She moves up into the top 10.
Costello and Flaum here. Carousel with Cody Claiborne as interested party here.
And Sam McDougall now pulling away from this tussle here. Michael Costello getting himself into...
Did we lose you? I think we might have just lost him there. Well, let's watch this battle with Costello. This is the closest battle within the top 10, and it's starting to really be joined now also by Dan Marrera in 9th with Mia Ray Svensson in 10th and Spath at 11th. Mitch Welker setting the purple lap at a 1:44.2. As he continues to try to pull away from Bensi. Bensi, though, is not really allowing him to get away. Let's go back to that battle up there. And they are joined by Hunter Engrave. Okay, so we did lose... we did lose Steven. I will expect that he'll be back here momentarily. We will hold down the fort here in the meantime. Welker, Bensi, Engrave, DeTurk, and Costello. Costello's been the big mover there. He is now up to 5th. He's up 6 spots. And he's right with his teammate, McDougall. That pair is 5th and 6th. Zach Flaum with one of his best qualifying runs of the season in 7th, but down 2 spots. Let's take a look at the tire situation. And that's not exactly what I wanted. My overlay is not working. All right, so it looks that the people with... let's go back up to the leader here. He's on, the leader is on the prime. So anything with a 0 is on the prime. And interesting. And then the rest of the overlay is showing in the bottom portion of the top 10. So, okay, we'll keep track of that. That's going to have to go back to the dev. Sometimes we make changes on the overlay. One little thing to add a feature sometimes breaks another feature. And the feature that we had really this time was we wanted to do position changes. And there you go. There you see the position changes within the top 10. And you see Spath actually lost 8, but that's not taking into account anything that he started from pit road. We did have some incidents where Franchica, Wakefield, Miglin, and Indica Scarlet are already shown as out. Not sure what happened to them, but we now have 19 cars running, 31 laps. Expect the first pit stops around 13, 14, somewhere in there. Welker not getting away as easy from Bincy as he did in the last race. And of course, going back in the league history, season 1 won by Gavin Sanders. Caleb Bincy was finished 2nd there, and then season 2, Nate Seifert won that championship, and Caleb finished 3rd there. The season 3 championship, I think Caleb had to miss some races in the middle of the season for some other priorities that he had. Finished 7th, and I think that's his worst finish ever. At least when it comes to season competition here in the FIS. We got you back. Good. Season 4, Caleb finished 3rd once again. And last season, of course, Caleb climbed the mountain and won the championship. But looks like Caleb might possibly be staring at another top 3 finish with no championship to show for it. How's the power situation sitting there in rural Philadelphia?
You say rural, but you're talking about Philadelphia. Like, that wasn't a power issue. That was just an internet issue. That was weird. Yeah, like, I have no idea what Discord was doing there. But in any case, it was kind of oddly quiet for a while. I'm like, Gary, you gonna say something here?
And that's the thing. It's oddly that Gary's quiet. That's the thing.
Yeah, like, that's always a bad sign, I would say. But I've been keeping an eye on...
Oh, there's Costello to Turk.
Yeah, de Turk now under pressure from Costello. De Turk on the blacks, Costello on the reds. He's trying around the outside here. Bold move here. A bit of contact, actually, coming off of Canada corner. Both of them gathering it up pretty well. But Costello and dives it down to the inside this time, and more
he just sent it.
He just completely sent it. Banging on him like they're racing tin tops here at Road America. But Costello gonna lead him over the line, and that was a bold play. That was kind of reminiscent of what we saw from him last time out at Interlagos. Costello is definitely a brave driver.
And Michael has got a new livery on. That's the kind of the Mickey Thompson off-road Toyota livery back from the 80s. I believe that's painted by Dakota DeMay, and he just recently released that. I am reminded that the very first IndyCar win for Toyota was the week after Juan Montoya won his first Indy 500 in 2000. The first Toyota win in IndyCar was the next weekend at Milwaukee.
Wow, and sadly, Toyota has been out of American open wheel competition, whether it be the Champ Cars or the IRL, for a long time. And I know IndyCar for the longest time has been wanting to get a third manufacturer involved in the series. I think at this point they don't care who it is, just as long as it's somebody. Maybe even get Lotus from when they tried it back in the early 2010s.
Now you're just saying fighting words now.
Yeah, maybe. But I would love to see Toyota come back. Like, they have been, especially with the success that they've been having in other motorsports categories, particularly in sports cars. And it would have been great to see the success that they could have gotten in Formula One if they hadn't pulled the plug on it going into the 2010s. But if we could see them back here in IndyCar competition, that could be really, really fascinating, especially with the hybrid powertrains coming on. And Toyota as a company, they have been thoroughly involved in hybrid powertrains for quite a while. And that's also one thing that I should mention too. I haven't looked too closely into the matter, but I know at some point we are going to be likely seeing the IR18 in the iRacing service with the new turbocharged hybrid engines at some point. I'm not sure when, but it would be. But have you seen anything that would indicate it, Gary?
No, I know it's going to be in the sim. I would imagine that they need to probably get some data, real life data from the cars once they actually make it out onto the track with the units at Mid-Ohio, which will be July, July, not 6th, but the 7th is when the Mid-Ohio race is. And then I would suspect for the Season 4, maybe the Season 4 of 2024 update, or maybe the Season 1 of 2025 update might have the new car, or at least the new spec car in there that we can play around with. But watching Flaum on the back side of McDougall is getting a good run through the kink. He's going to go take a look on the outside, coming down the Canada corner, see who's going to outbrake who. McDougall had the better spot.
Yeah, McDougall had the better track positioning there, holds on to that 6th position here. But Zach Flaum looking like he's finding fresh pace on those black tires, and we may be getting close to the crossover point, perhaps, as McDougall
heading to pit road. Remember, McDougall stopped early in the last race, too.
Yeah, this is seems to be their favorite strategy call in recent times, and we'll see how that plays out at Road America. And that seems to me it's already going to be committed as a 2-stop race for the 13 crew. And I'm definitely curious to see, because I snuck myself into the test drive section a little bit there, and of course didn't take it around here. I didn't have the time to do so and actually get a fuel number. And I haven't really done too many laps at Road America with full tank, because some of the last races I did here was back in the Lionheart series with this car, and they limit the fuel tanks down to 75%, so you get about 11 laps worth, and I think you could get, from what it said, about 15, maybe 16 laps, but I get the feeling that some drivers are not going to risk it for that. Especially since if you do have fuel issues, this is a 4-mile racetrack. You got a long way to coast it back to pit road.
Well, and even if you could coast it back to pit road, it's uphill before you get to your pit stall.
Indeed, that's definitely true. And gravity is going to be gravity is not going to be your friend
no.
in that case.
No.
It may have some enthusiasm going down the hill into turn 5, just not the other way around.
Let's see. In chat, we have Let's Go Mia. Mia currently, we'll get the camera on Mia. Mia's struggling at the moment, back in 16th. But I do agree with Doug South. The livery, the more I see it on Mia's car, yes, it is a very slick livery on Mia's car. We'll get a good shot of it here coming down to turn 8. I like the little hints of purple on the end plates there. Very nice, very nice.
Exactly. And Svensson actually had a really good start going for her. She goes way wide in the carousel, trying to set herself up on exit. But but from that good start, something must have happened along the line there, and looking is not in a spot that we're used to seeing her. Actually, having a look, she actually came on the pit road.
Okay.
She actually came in very early, so like right at the start of the pit window.
All right.
And
she pitted then on lap 6. So
Yep,
on another
and she's
strategy,
got-
and we are watching pit stops happen right now. Cody Claiborne in the Fish car coming to pit road. The Turk on pit road. The Turk must have had did the Turk have a... No, he just fell back. I don't know. Something must have happened to Turk. He's really fallen back. Got an 18-second stop.
Yeah, that... Oh, I think that... Actually, looking back on lap number 8, there was actually contact with... Was that Costello?
Well, and Costello is still in the pits.
It is. It was the 8 of Michael Costello. He actually sent him around in turn 5, destroyed rear wing on the number 8, and a destroyed front wing on the 47 of Michael DeTurk. And that was a really good battle going on there, and it's just been like, that was unfortunate.
But just right after we left him, we moved the camera to someplace else. Meanwhile, Caleb is starting to cut into Welker's lead.
He is. I've actually been noticing that the last couple of laps. Bensi about a 10.5 up on Welker that last lap. Both these drivers running on the hard compound tire to start this race. So Bensi seems to be finding some really good race pace so far. And this is exactly the sort of pace he needs. Like, he wants to get, like, and he knows he's got to be taking aggressive moves whenever he gets the chance to. If Welker leaves the slightest bit of a gap open, Bensi's going to go for it.
And then we have AJ Digby checking in, which says he unable to make the lineup tonight. That might finish him second or third in the amateur standings, but unfortunately can't make tonight's lineup. So that's pretty much going to seal it for my hero Dan there in 7th spot. But Dan still needs to bring it home. So we'll see how that championship unfolds. But meanwhile, Bensi now within 5/10 down in the Canada corner.
Closing up every single corner a little bit here, little by little. It's a very close to call between these two. Big slide.
That's going to cost him.
That's going to cost him big time. Bensi's on the button, no doubt about it. Welker trying to counter. He's going to go to the inside into turn number 1. Can Bensi take it round the long way? Sticks it around. The Brazilian cleared him, but
Brazilian
Bensi took
clear.
his lead.
I think Bensi was going to clear himself whether he was cleared or not.
Yeah, he was going to take that corner, no question about it.
And that was one of the best passes we've seen for the lead all season long. Here comes Welker. He's not on the button, but he's going to take a look to the outside. Going to pump fake inside, pump fake left side. Going to go back outside. Not going to be able to get it. So now we're going uphill to this blind left-hander up to 6. Not a good place to pass up here, but he's going to keep it close. Down to 7. The next spot coming is to 8 down at the bottom of this hill. Is he going to line him up for that? And otherwise, he's going to have to follow him all the way down the Canada corner. Here we go.
Yeah, Bensi got the run he needed through that fast right-hander. And Welker looks like he's trying to take some pages out of Nigel Mansell's playbook, trying to do the dummy pass on Mitch Welker. But Bensi, I think, learned from the mistakes Nelson Piquet made back in the 1987 British Grand Prix, and he's not falling for that one too easily.
He's
but Welker
run. Here's the run.
Welker trying to spook
to the
him.
outside. He tries to set it. Bensi actually gives him force him a little bit wide.
He did, and Welker tried to set up on the outside there, trying to get the cutback move. Not quite enough.
Up through Bill Mitchell into 14.
Final corner again. A little bit of a twitch there from Mitch Welker. But sitting in the slipstream of the number 1. He's not using the button. Bensi scored as the leader, of course. And he's going to have a look down the inside. Not quite enough.
And with the big road course arrow wing they put on the back of these cars, it's tough to see through that with the rear camera, but that's how close the lead is. Oh, and of course the camera is in the gearbox. That's a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, great placement there, but Welker trying to do some great placement of his own. He's trying to set up a cutback move off of turn number 5. Not quite enough to get the momentum up here as they head up into 6. And these two, this is turning into a great scrap. It's been a great season watching them. Welker may have the championship pretty much on lock as it stands. But Bensi wants to end the season in style, and he is doing so just now. And so is Welker. It's always great to see these fantastic fights at the front of the pack there as Bensi gets a little bit of a twitch there, but not quite enough to lose momentum here as they head through the kink. Welker, yet again, trying to set up a run here using the toe. Nearly 190 miles an hour onto the brakes for Canada corner. They're touching about 85 at the apex. Last corner, Bensi, both of them still holding strong up the hill. Can Welker get the run he needs? Not quite enough this time.
All right.
You hear me, Gary?
Yeah, I hear you. I was just actually trying to make sure we had the right cam file for the car.
I was gonna say you had me scared for a moment, dude. I thought I was having those issues again.
No, I'm making sure I have the right cam file. But we're running right here on the nose of Welker's car. This is really the closest battle on the racetrack for the most part. As pit stops have been happening and been spreading some people out.
Yeah, everybody. That's kind of the beauty I'm seeing with the sort of situation we got going in here fuel-wise. We have a lot of different drivers taking a lot of different strategies, and a lot of them just doing something that nobody else around them is doing. So they got a lot of options to play with here. But these two, speaking of playing with, Bensi again playing big defense into Canada corner. Welker again tries to send around the outside. I think he had a bit of a better run that time. But this battle is not let up in the slightest. Up the hill again, and both the leaders coming in.
Yeah, we figured it'd be right around lap 13, 14, somewhere. Oh!
Ooh, big lockup for Caleb. Coming on the pit road, Welker had to take major evasive action there. None of them got bopped for anything. No penalty for either of them. And Welker going through the pit boxes here. He knows that Caleb has a spot ahead of where he's stationed. Bensi into his box. Welker in his. We'll see what they put on. Bensi and Welker both going on the red tires for this middle stint. Down and away he goes, and Welker beats him out.
Oops, do this here. There we go.
So Welker reclaims the lead. And whoa, Bensi way wide there as he's trying to get those tires up to temperature in the aero wash of the 76. Can he get that back?
So Welker was in the box a whole half second shorter than Bensi. So either he short filled just to get that edge, or I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of is that he possibly short filled on that stop there to get the edge.
I would imagine so, especially if he's going to be running on red tires there. He's not going to fill up that tank the whole way because I'd imagine this is going to be his short stint. I'm wondering what Bensi has got in store here.
Well, wouldn't it be
like
the same thing for Bensi when he stops for his stop too? He would get a shorter fill than Welker, wouldn't he?
I would imagine he would. That'd be my thought process in any case. Yeah, that's an interesting.
That's the only thing that's about the
slower.
Yeah, that's about the only thing I can think of, is that he decided to go a couple of ounces or whatever less in the tank, and that's what got him the edge. And he's pulled out now to a 9/10, almost now 1 second lead.
Exactly, and that could well be one of the advantages that Welker has, because he has his friend Michael Hurley up in the spotter stand, not only acting as spotter but also as crew chief. So he can like better access to the data. Welker just needs to just get in the car, work the pedals, and turn the wheel, as it were.
Yeah, we've talked about how much of an advantage it is to have a man on the box, so to speak, or a person on the box, so to speak, and to make those decisions for you. And all you really have to do is concentrate on hitting your marks and turning left and turning right and braking and hitting that accelerator. So interesting call from the box possibly for the Project 2 team. But Welker's now your leader. Ooh. Everyone has done a pit stop at the very least. I don't think Peter Donchek has. There he is in the Buc-ee's livery.
Oh, actually just saw me went a bit wide there in the middle of turn number 3. But Donchak seems to have gone the furthest of anybody in this field, and right now sitting in 9th place for it. So this just looks like fuel maximization for the 17 crew here. And again, a bit deep into that corner here. And looking behind, that's Michael DeTurk trying to make up for lost positions early on in this race after the contact with Michael Costello. And Donchak sees him coming. He's thinking, nope, I don't want to fight you too much here.
And here comes
for Joey Selmans. And into the wall he goes.
Now he's going to have to stop.
Well, if that ain't the commentator's curse, I don't know what is. Oh man, sorry to see that, Peter. And he was doing pretty well on the fuel numbers there. That could have been an interesting strategy towards the end of this race. And now is
Caleb Bensi purple lap.
Svensson. Which one?
Caleb Bensi purple lap. Just turned it.
43 even for Caleb Bensi to actually Welker with a 42.9. So that is.
Interesting that how the sim thinks that Bensi's faster.
Yeah,
let's see if that corrects itself here. Because the last lap for Welker was a 142.9. Caleb was a 143 flat, and the purple lap has been given to Bensi. That's obviously not correct.
Yeah, seems like an interesting error there.
And we could actually show you. We'll show you a best lap here. So yeah, you can see right here. But somehow Bensi got the 143 flat, and they're saying that Welker's a 144.3, but I was showing it a 142.9 when it said last lap. Interesting. I don't know. I'm kind of confused now. This is not an overlay thing. This is the timing and scoring thing now acting weird.
Yeah, and it's same for me too, because it's I'm looking at the laps that Mitch Welker has turned. It's still saying his best lap was lap 2, a 144.3.
Look right there. So this is last lap, 142.9. He's getting ready to change that now. Unless,
one thing I'm thinking, could it be he got an off track?
Possible.
Yeah, that is weird though, that it would be that harsh in knocking out a fast lap there for getting it off track in the race session. In qualifying, that's pretty normal, but in the race session, that is definitely on the strange side of things.
Okay, well, let's reset the field. After our pit stops, Welker is your leader now. He came in behind Bensi, but beat Bensi out when they both stopped on the same lap at 13. Benzie is currently second with the purple lap, supposedly. Hunter Ingrave, he has survived to be all by himself there in third spot, and we are rooting him on to get a good finish. He is about 15 seconds behind this battle, just a little bit behind Ingrave. It's Flaum, the host with the most, one of the admins here. He is currently fourth spot, 19 seconds behind the lead. Logan Spath not too far behind Zach here. Spath is started from the pits and is at the fifth. He is 22 seconds behind the leaders. Sam McDougall, they are sixth with a 25.1 seconds behind the leaders. One name we haven't talked about, Kevin Bonomi. He is up in the top 10, and he currently is seventh. And then right now, Dan Marrera are looking like to be our amateur champion. He is currently the highest rated amateur at the moment, and he is in eighth all by himself and has a 9-second lead over our sponsor of the day's race, JSelmants. And I want to say that Joey, make sure to, if you're interested in his artwork, to go to his Instagram page. The link is in the description, and you could do a commission with him. So add him on Instagram, and you can contact him there as well. I will flip the button here, and we'll put up some of his artwork one more time so you can take a look at it. But thank him for sponsoring today's event. There you see, a little kart history there. Little current stuff, some IMSA, Formula One, historical Formula One stuff. But yeah, check him out. And we want to thank him a lot for sponsoring today's race. Right behind him, this is really a close battle, though. 9th, 10th, and 11th. Selmants, DeTurk, and DeMade. And we do have a DeMade fan in chat. He's called DeMade the GOAT.
And it's great to see the GOAT back, Dakota DeMade. It's been a while since I've seen him, and he's had a few weeks off, but running pretty solid from 15th to 11th. And Michael DeTurk as well, making up a lot of lost ground here after that incident earlier with Michael Costello. So these guys all fighting it out for a top 10 spot here. This is... this one's looking to be pretty interesting, especially with DeTurk on a mission. He's looking a bit quicker than Selmants at the moment, but overall they're fairly even with each other, all things considered.
We don't have any details on FIS season 7 yet.
Vincey's back in.
Vincey's back in, so he went on the short stint here.
Yeah, and I think he's banking on Welker. This looks like, to me, it's going to be a pretty short pit stop, I would wager.
Little willpower type pit stop here?
Maybe, as he
going back onto the primes.
Back on. Down he goes. So this is going to be a very fascinating strategy call here. As
only 5 laps. Only 5 laps on that stint.
It was only 5 laps, and I will note, the last lap round for Mitch Welker, like being realistic about it, he has the fastest lap, 1:42.9. The last lap round was a 44.6. So these tires fell off quickly, and I think that's ultimately what Bensie's banking on here. That these hard tires hang on until the end, and they hold a lot of good pace, and that will get him.
Now, he should get to the end. It should get to the end. That's only 12 laps to the end, and he did 13 on that first stint, so he should be good to go. I believe Mitch answers here in pits. I believe if Mad Mike noticed everything, I believe Mad Mike's calling him in now.
I wouldn't. That would be my guess as well. He's going to see that and react to it pretty quick. Let's see. Welker, no, he's staying out. And let's see what his lap time is. Cross the line, and that time by a 45.1. Mitch Welker's Reds are losing pace.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say before the pit stop happened, we don't have any information on Season 7 yet for the FIS, but we do know we will be back. It will be myself and Steven in the chairs again to bring the action to you. We'll be on a new channel, maybe even a new day, but probably the same time. So just stay tuned to the FIS and their Discord channel, and they'll be making announcements on when the next season will be. We do have the schedule for their season 2 of the FSS. That's the Formula Super Series, and we will show that here a little bit later in the broadcast, and that will be on Turn 200 starting Mondays in August. August 5th is the opener there for their Formula Super Series. Formula Super Series, yes, FSS, that they'll be having later this season. That will run through the remainder of the summer and into the fall and winter. And then at some point, we will be back here with the FIS, picking it back up again for Season 7 on a new channel and maybe even a new night. We'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot we don't know going into this new season or even when it will be, but we will definitely keep you in the loop about that. And a lot of changes coming for the broadcast as well. But it's
here it is. Welker coming to pit road. Yeah.
Yep, Welker coming in. Gets it down smoothly. This, I think now Welker's crew has realized that, hey, we're actually starting to lose pace here to that number 1 machine. That's the one you got to keep an eye out for.
And we're watching right now Caleb coming through Canada corner, up and through Bill Mitchell.
45 miles an hour. It feels like an eternity here for Welker. Coming down into his box.
I think he might be able to get out in front of Bency. We'll see. Up the hill for Bency. Down the straight.
Down he goes. And he comes out past the blue cone here. Where is Bency?
He's right behind him.
Still behind him.
Yeah, I thought he might beat him.
Yeah, it's still looks to me, eyeballing it, about a second or a bit more between them. So it is still a close fight here, and Bency does seem to like these hard compound tires. So let's see what he can pull. Can he close back up like he did on the last black tire stint?
But both these guys are good to go to the end. Their pit crews are done for the season. They can start putting the gear away and just setting up to see how this race is going to finish out. We're now down to just a little over 10 laps remaining in this season. Mad Mike Caleb's keeping us honest. Yeah, he is.
Yes, indeed. And it's been a great tussle between them so far. And if Caleb's running on the last black tire since any indicator, I'm keeping a close eye on this. But right now, the leader is Hunter Engrav in the 49. It's been a great run for him so far.
Yeah, let's give him some TV time right here. Here he comes through 14.
Up the hill. But Engrav staying out for another lap. He will be credited with the lead of the race on this lap here. Last time by was a 46.2. And behind him, Zach Fahm in second, a 45.9. Meanwhile, as Welker comes up the hill here, of course, this was his out lap here, so that lap doesn't mean too terribly much. But Bency with a 44.7. These leaders are mighty fast so far as Welker comes out behind a lap car, it looks like. That's Kyle Allen in the 999.
He does not want to see that. That's going to slow him down a little bit. Allen gets out of the way, and now actually might help Caleb a little bit with the draft down the long straight here in the 5.
Could very well be, but also could be a hang-up here as we get into turn 5 here for these next couple of corners. That 999 is not going to be something he wants to see through this section, no doubt. Coming through town, through to the left-hander, going into the carousel. Again, not a place where Bency wants to be held up like this, as Welker gets his foot down.
Well, he'll be able to set up this pass down after he gets through the kink. I think Kyle will I think try to give him some room. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Kyle was fighting him as much as he was, as he goes off the track a little bit there. As Engrav now comes on the pit road, big lockup there, actually, coming into the pits. No penalty there, but that was one of those things that I do question a little bit, how much he was fighting him, especially since he was a lap down and not many people were around him in that instance. But Bensi does get the pass made, but he has indeed lost a good amount of track position to Mitch Welker as Engrav comes down to his box.
Zach Flaum was fast all practice long, qualified pretty good, and here he is late in the race, but he still needs to stop. He is 9 laps into his current stint, only went 13 on his first stint, so we expect at least another 5 laps or so, and then he'll have to come in and throw on whatever choice of tires that he wants next to finish this race on. But getting some laps led for the first time this season, and towards the end of this one, looking good. I think he was just might be one of his best road courses that he drives, and seemed keyed up for it and is doing pretty well. It looks like he might have himself a good finish in store, but right now is leading but still has a stop, 9 to go. He's going to eventually turn the lead over to Welker when he does stop.
Yeah, and Zach Flaum, very good run for him so far. Pretty much every driver I talk to loves Road America, but Flaum, I think, was definitely keyed up for this one, and started 5th, has been running solidly in the top 10 all day long, and now in the lead of the race, at least for the moment, as we go through the final cycle of pit stops. And now he makes the dive down onto pit road. So let's see where he comes out here. It's a big gap between him and Logan Spath, who's currently scored in 5th place. This is going to be an interesting battle, as Spath now on his way into Canada corner. But the gap now for the leaders, it is 2.5 seconds between Bensi and Welker. That's probably the biggest gap between them we've seen all race long.
So I think Hunter's going to get Zach.
Yeah, I would imagine. And Flaum down off the jacks, and away he goes. And Engrav does breeze by him there. And I'm keeping an eye on
I think Logan might get him too.
Yeah, he does get by him, but Engrav on Flaum, I should say, on fresh rubber. What can he do in the closing laps? This is the battle for fourth place.
Yeah. And back up front.
Further back.
Go ahead. Which battle are you looking at?
I'm looking at 6th place as well, but Nomi and
here
Sam
is debate around Joey for 9th and 10th. Let's get up to Bonomi and McDougal here. They go through 5. They're going up the hill to 6 right now.
Yeah, looking at the times, they were pretty even with each other. And I gotta give a shout out as well to Kevin Bonomi, the number 75, started 22nd in this race,
16.
6th.
Yeah, biggest gainer.
Biggest gainer, no doubt, and he has been putting in a great performance tonight.
There you see on the tree there, Bonomi, 16 spots made up. And I've been showing Joey's art for a while. I hope everyone likes that. We're going to remove that here, but check out Joey's art though on Instagram. Link is in the description.
Working their way up the hill yet again. This battle on for 4th position. Zach Flaum, bit wide there in the final corner there as he's hunting down Logan Spath. This is for 4th place. Lap 25 this time. 7 laps to go. Now, of course, last time around, Flaum, that was his out lap here. This is going to be the money lap. Probably going to be his fastest lap of the race, even with an overtake on Logan Spath's number 3 machine. He's going to set something up, it looks like. Into turn 5, not quite enough. Not quite close enough.
Now he's close enough. We're riding with him.
Yeah, Spath on the blacks, Flom on the reds to close out this race. And these tires, as we talked about before, they're lightning fast, but they die off just as quick.
Push to pass situation. Welker and Bincy each have 4. Hunter has 7. Logan has 6. Zach has 6. Bonomi has 7. McDougall has 6. Morera has 8. And 1 for Dakota before he's Winchester. And Joey, our sponsor for the day, he has, on the outside, 3. Oh, through Canada corner.
On Logan Spath. He's going to hold his grip here. And he got off track for that, but that was an around the outside pass.
Wow.
For Flom in Canada corner. Beautifully done. I don't care if he got off track for that. Give him a medal for that. But Flom, once again, playing a bit of defense here against Spath. Spath on the black tires, and historically I found the black tires
here
a bit better.
Here he comes.
Ooh.
Here he comes.
Looking to the inside here. Almost some contact there. And Flom is off. Flom is into the gravel trap.
But he does a good recovery and a good rejoin, and he's not that far off from this battle. He could get back into it.
He definitely could. I don't think this is over just yet, but that was some aggressive racing here. Zach Flom and Logan Spath.
Oh, here's another battle right behind him. Here's the McDougall and Bonomi coming down to 5. McDougall weaving back and forth. They are trying to find a way around. They're going to go the outside through 5. And they're going to be side by side through 6 now.
McDougall almost had it there. A bit squeamish on the exit. Bonomi is off there, and there goes McDougall up into 6th place. Bonomi recovers, but that was just a little tiny error, and that sent him off into the gravel trap. So easy to do here at Road America. But Bonomi, let's see if he can close the gap on Sam McDougall. This was a great fight all race long, and here comes the fight back on. I was talking about it. Spath now defending from Zach Flom. Flom's going to take it around the outside. Those reds still holding up pretty well. And again, Zach Flom, outside pass, makes it stick up into 4th place. Now, can Spath do anything about it? Especially later on in this race where this was critical for Zach Flom to get that position when he did, because we're getting close to that crossover point where the black tires historically are going to gain pace on the reds. The tide's going to shift to Logan Spath in terms of pace.
Sorry about that. I had to take a screenshot for people watching at home. That little freeze there momentarily. I had to take a screenshot for my dev on the overlay here.
To say nothing of the fact you had me worry for a second again.
And still watching this battle between, really the battles between 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th are among the closest on the racetrack right now. Welker has a bit of a cushion over Caleb, about 2.5 seconds. But this battle between Flom and Spath is 0.6, and the battle between McDougall and Bonomi is 0.6 as well.
Yeah, so Bonomi has made up a good amount of ground on Sam McDougall. This fight is definitely not over either. I was looking at the fight between Flom and Spath for 4th, but we got 2 to keep our eyes on here in the closing stages. Having a look at Logan Spath. Bit deep on entry into Canada corner here. Lap 28 we're coming to the start of. 4 to go.
And we're looking in chat there. Shows Shadow Fox 49 is Christian Jasper. He's checking in. We haven't seen him in the lineup yet this year. I think he's running the FSS. We'll catch him some other time. But there's Welker, the leader, going through 5 up the hill to 6. Very difficult turn this is. Coming uphill, you just can't really see the apex. You got to count on it being there. You got to kind of get muscle memory through there. Very difficult turn for me. That's one of my least favorite turns at this track.
Yeah, though I've had like the main thing I tend to have a bit of annoyance with there is when there's an incident that happens there and it's blind to you. But look at Logan Spath. He's actually caught up with Flom. Dives it down the inside into turn 5. Flom has the edge into 6. Holding it around. Can he hang on here? He's going to have the inside for the next right-hander. And he does hold on to the spot for the time being.
Yeah, but he's going to have a good run going into... he's going to hit the button here. So they're going through. I bet you both of them hit the button this time.
I have no doubt about that. Flom is going to play defense like he's never played defense before.
Unless they can't because of mileage.
That's also true. You also got to keep an eye on the fuel situation here. Trying to see when the last time these guys came in.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Inside in the Canada corner.
Side by side in the Canada corner again. Zach Flom without that outside line. He's got the momentum. Not quite enough for Spath this time around. Keeping an eye again, though, on the fight between McDougall and Bonomi. Bonomi's right on the gearbox of the 13 machine this time, coming up the hill. And I can see them weaving ahead of them here. But Bonomi's got a run here into turn number 1. Not on the button, though. This is just on momentum.
I think we're going to be tight on fuel. Yeah, both. Oh, McDougall has to give way, but I thought it's going to make. He made it difficult for them. Yeah, they definitely made it difficult for them.
Yeah, McDougall definitely did everything they could to hold back Bonomi. I'm wondering if McDougall is keeping an eye on his fuel gauge here. But this battle is not let up either.
And this battle back here between Flom and Spath, this is 4th and 5th. This is still going to be close enough that I think we might see maybe a push of the button this time. I don't know. I think if just a little bit more oomph behind Spath, he can get the pass done. But right now, Zach is doing an outstanding job by keeping Logan, who is trying to claw his way into 3rd place in the championship standings on the power of only one podium all season long. Here we go. We're going to get a good run into the kink.
And Spath, not quite as close as he was last time.
He's on the button. He's on the button. And that just a little bit of an oomph might be able to go and get some by, and that's exactly what happens.
There he goes. Logan Spath up in the 3rd. Zach Flom tries to get a run off the corner.
Bonomi and McDougall side by side through Canada corner. Almost identical.
McDougall got him back. McDougall got Bonomi back in a diving move into Canada corner. Beautifully done by the 13. Well done, Sam McDougall getting back up into 6th spot.
And Bonomi's going to have a run down the front straight here. Spath and Flom make it through 1 now. We'll see what happens here in this other battle. McDougall goes defensive. Here comes Bonomi on the outside. Tries to give it not much room on the outside, but Bonomi is going to have a good run down the hill now. Coming down the 4.
Still wheel to wheel here, and Bonomi tries to set up a crossover move down the straightaway as they head towards turn number 5.
That's actually 3, excuse me.
Yeah.
the stupid little 3 and 4 and the 3A and the 4 on the backstretch here.
Yeah, it's mostly by the Marshall's posts here at Road America.
And he just sends it!
Gets sideways there. He saves it. Gathers it up here. Can he translate that back into getting up on Sam McDougall again? We're coming to 1 lap to go. Mitch Welker around the final corner this time and's got a lap car ahead.
That is Goyette. Goyette's going to pull over, let him on by.
Yep, Nick Goyette there in the number 12 and 13th place has lapped up to that spot. White flag in the air for Mitch Welker. But I'm keeping a close tab on this fight. Bonomi again got a monster run out of the kink. And clears Sam McDougall even before they get to Canada.
That says something about Bonomi's pace, because Bonomi about spun the car last time through 5, and he was able to catch back up.
Yeah,
Spath, in the meantime, has put a good cushion between himself and Flaum.
Yes, he has. And Logan Spath, seems like those tires are holding up just as well as we expected there. And Spath is clearing away of Zach Flaum. Flaum, though, put in a fantastic run. Top 5 all race long. And a great battle to go with. As everyone else, I'm looking at McDougall. Do they have something in store at the end of this race?
Final time through the carousel for our leader, and going to be our season champion and become the first 2-time series champion in FIS history. Looking at yet another win here in the season. I believe this will be as he comes through Canada corner. This will be win number 16. This will be win number 17 with a 67% win percentage, which is going to go up a little bit today. Here is your series champion at the top of the hill, Mitch Welker. After having a rough first part of the season, puts a stamp on it and makes the second half of the season his, as well as the championship. Congratulations.
And Bensy comes across second. Bensy kept him honest all race long, all season long. But Mitch Welker,
Hunter Engrave,
wins the race and the championship. And Hunter Engrave,
yeah, is looking here for
some
P3.
Some good luck.
Yeah,
plays out for him. He's gonna get third.
Podium. We all this time we know he can do it. Logan, we'll see if this is enough to get him past Gavin, first third. Zach with one of his best finishes of the day. Bonomi, one of his best finishes of the season as well. McDougall, a solid top 10. And Dan Marrera. And Dan Marrera coming through Bill Mitchell through 14. And he can lick this envelope and seal it up because he is your amateur division champion. He's giving the weave. He knows it. He knows it.
Amateur division champion for Gary's hero.
My hero, yep.
Indeed.
And let's get in the...
Joey Selmets in top 10.
Yeah, and let's get some...
And Welker doing some beautiful donuts down in turn 5. Definitely savor something sweet there, Mitch.
Yeah, interesting. I won't be able to queue up any replays, but that's okay. Weird stuff's going on. All right. Interesting. Not sure what happened there, but we'll dig up the logs and find out. Anyways, let's bring in the results. Mitch Welker led 26 of the 31 laps and is your winner. Caleb Bensy made up 2 spots, made a run of it, led 3 laps right before that pit stop crossover. And fortunately was beat out of the pits and then really was not in contention any point after that. He was there, but he just could never quite get as close as he was. Hunter Engrave led 1 lap where pit stops were overlapping each other. He finished 3rd. Logan Spath 4th. Zach Flaum 5th. Kevin Bonomi finishes 6th. Sam McDougall 7th. Dan Marrera 8th. And Dakota DeMade, a nice top 10 there in 9th. Our sponsor, Joey, JSelmants, Motorsports Art. Yeah, he finishes 10th, so it's good top 10 for him. Good investment to come out in a top 10 on the race you sponsor. Moving on. Cody Claiborne in the fish car at 11th. Mia Ray Swinson, just not a good as a race as she's had in the past, finishes 12th. Maybe this is not her style track here at Road America, but a great debut, I think, in the latter half of the season. We hope to see more of them come back in the next season. Nick Ouellette 13th, Kyle Allen 14th, Andy Oak 15th. Again, want to see all these guys return. They all started steadily getting better as the season went on. DeTurk, unfortunately, with a little bit of an incident, finished 16th. Donchak 17th. Costello 18th, also in that same incident with the Turk. Hayden Herman 19th. Frankenfrid Chica, unfortunately, was taken out on the first lap there. He finishes 20th. Dan Miglin, 21st. Indica Scarlet, not sure what happened to Indica, but they finished 22nd. Jared Wakefield, 23rd, and Fabian Saavedra, 24. And I'll tell you, I think this might be the smallest field all season long we've had in the FIS, but still, every single week to field 24 or more competitors and cars says a lot about the league and the competitiveness and the good, just all the good things that make a league and make people want to come back. So it's good to see that level of return and people keep coming back and racing every event. So good on the admins there for having 24 show up for the last race of the season when virtually just about everybody's out of the. But they just want to race, and I think that's the style of everyone here in this series. They just love racing.
Yeah, and this has always been a fantastic league to cover, and everybody gives it their all, and we've seen that every single week, and we've definitely seen it tonight. And Mitch Welker has really done his homework all season long. The team has as well, and it's really showing that, forgive me for being cliche about it, but teamwork makes the dream work, and I think that's definitely true with Mitch Welker. This has been a fantastic second half of the season, and it's been a great championship run, and he's well and truly earned that second championship in the FIS.
Well, let's beat the system here, and we'll queue up some replays anyways. There we go. We'll just do it that way through the old UI. Let's see. We want to bring up the top 3 of the race who isn't already going to be in an interview already. So that's going to be a Hunter Ingrave. So we'll get their car here on the screen. As my overlay just says, you know what? I'm not going to do anything more for you anymore. Let's get into the interview room here. There he is, and we'll bring him up first. Hey, Hunter, we got you here in the booth. Gary and Steven put one together today. Nice finish. P3, started strong, stayed strong all day.
Yeah, I'm happy. I didn't believe it with how bad I've been this year. Some of it luck, mostly just driving skill issues. So happy I could get P3.
Well, talk about your race. I mean, after really getting through that start, the first couple laps, there was a lot of tight racing, but kind of got to that first pit stop, and then everything spread out. And right after that, there was kind of like no one around you. It was kind of your race to decide what you wanted to do with, win it or lose it in terms of coming home on a podium. When you're racing around kind of by yourself by that much in the race, I mean, how hard is it to lose focus and to possibly make a mistake?
Very easy. I was trying to help my teammate Kevin out. So he'd be asking me questions. I'm trying to focus, and I knew Zach was faster in the long run than me. He kept gaining on me. After the first pit stop, he gained a fair amount of time on me. I went a little cautious entering, so I was a little worried. And then the second stint, the alternates were falling too fast for my liking, so I pitted. I was trying to stay out to do an alternate run, but I couldn't do it. And then I saw Zach pit for alternates. And it got me very worried because I knew he was very fast, and that when you put him on the alternates, it was going to be really fast. But luckily, he got a battle with Logan for a little bit, which helped me a lot, I think. I don't think I would have got P3 if Logan didn't fight with Zach.
Yeah, and that was turning into a really good scrap at the end of that race here. But thinking ahead a little bit towards the next season, whenever we get it announced, I expect we're going to see you take another crack at it. And what sort of learning, what sort of things do you think you've learned over this season here?
Basically, when tires fall off, they fall off.
Definitely true.
You can't just mash the gas and everything, which that was some of the mistakes. And cold tires exist, which also bit me this year a fair amount at like Interlagos, Brent Hatch. So yeah, no, a lot of learning again, a lot of rust shaking off. I learned a lot. Still gotta learn how to move the anti-roll bars and the weight jacker. I don't know what to really do to make them work right. I just do default setup every week and just wing it. So I have to learn more how to do that as well. But,
wow.
no, it's been a fun season.
The second podium this year, did you finish on the podium at Long Beach?
Yes, sir. I did.
Yeah, so second podium this year. You end the season on a very high note. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone you want to say hi to?
My mom and my dad for always watching. My teammate Kevin Bonomi for always being here every week.
He had a good race. He had a really good race, by the way. So congrats to him as well.
Oh, yeah, he was pumped afterwards. He was screaming on the radio. He was pumped. But and then also good job on you guys for doing a phenomenal job broadcasting every single week, and all the admins that put this amazing league together. It's always fun to do IndyCars.
Well, we hope to see you back. Hope to see you in the car more. Congratulations on the P3, and go celebrate.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
All right. Next, who do we want to bring up? We want to bring up, I believe I said in order of, let's go to the chat, what I say. I think I said amateur next.
I'm not seeing our
the amateur champ, yeah. Okay, then I'm going to have to type Dan a message. Say, get your rear end in an interview channel.
Yep.
All right. We'll wait for him to get to an interview channel. I hope he does, because I do want to talk with him. So that will really bring up then who we got next then. The team champs. The team champs will be up next here. So let's bring up Caleb and Logan. We'll bring them in here. Hey, Caleb, we got you here. We're going to bring you in for the team champions here first, and then we'll let you talk about finishing second. We're going to bring Logan in here, too. Hey, Logan, got you in the booth here. Sorry, don't say anything you don't mean to say. We got you in the booth here with Caleb, your teammate. You guys, I believe, are the team champions. So we wanted to talk to you about the team championship. And then, hey, Caleb, we also want to talk to you about finishing second today. First thing, let's go ahead and let's talk with Caleb first on the finish. You gave him a good run for it right there in the middle portion of the race, but he might have short filled you on that pit stop and beat you out by a half second and pulled away, and you could never really gain after that stop.
Yeah, I mean, pretty disappointed with that whole day, to be completely honest.
Mhm.
Qualifying was on a lap to either get pole or be right behind him, and then I didn't realize and ran out of time in the session, really going into Canada corner.
Oh, okay.
So that was a killer at the start, and then just kind of had to play a little bit of catch up, trying to get past Hunter. But yeah, the pace on the blacks was really good. Felt really comfortable with that, but switching to the reds just did not have the same pace. The rear just was not connected, it felt like, at all for me. So went back to the blacks, and I don't know how this keeps happening to me, but I was somehow short on fuel. So I don't know. Again, I don't know how that happens.
Wow.
But, so I really couldn't use push to pass, and I couldn't really make a big attempt at getting back at him in that final stint. And then got caught up by Kyle Allen racing for the win, apparently. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. A little bit disappointing, 'cause I feel like he actually had the pace to go out and get the win there to end out the season. But yeah, I guess that happens. Still a good finish, all in all.
Yeah, I would definitely
Go ahead.
Yeah, and of course, it was a sterling title defense throughout the season, but wasn't quite enough at the end of the day. And of course, Mitch has been really strong all season. And the thing I'm thinking here, going into the next season, I know you're not one to take that line down, and do you think there's something you may have learned that could possibly give you a leg up the next time?
I mean, kind of. I feel pretty comfortable with where I'm at. It's just a matter of, you know, finding because I feel like I try to proactively save tires a lot, and sometimes you ultimately don't need it. You don't realize that till later in the race.
Yep.
I guess, I mean, that's probably my own fault for not practicing as much as I probably should for these, but show up before the race, practice, and go race. But yeah, I mean, if anything, that's probably the main thing. But like overall, I've been pretty happy with the paces here and getting to win in Mid Ohio pretty comfortably and being in the hunt at pretty much every track. So, I mean, obviously there is definitely room to get better still, and that's on me to do that. But yeah, all in all, pretty content with the season. You know, just not the exact way I wanted to end it based on how the day went, but you know, not bad for sure.
All right, let's move on to the team championship. You and Logan for Stowe Maroon finished with 593 points, which was more than enough to finish ahead of Project 2, which was pretty much just like, I think, a one-man band, but a very strong one-man band over there nevertheless. Both of you, and also I do want to talk a little bit about Logan. You managed to get into third there at the end, so you finished 1 point better in the standings than Gavin, so you got just enough there in that, especially in that last battle that you were having with Zach towards the end of this race. I mean, you really needed that pass in order to get that third place in the standings. So congrats on working hard on that. But you two, you by far the best team on the grid all season long, dominated the team championship. I got to ask, I mean, is there any consolation to getting the team championship? You guys, I mean, at least Caleb sounds a little disappointed. Now, let's hear a little bit from Logan. I mean, how are you feeling out of all this, finishing third in the championship and then finishing on the top step, though, as a team, though?
Yeah, I think especially today, just really getting that third place on Gavin. I was a little worried where fourth would put me in the points, and starting from the pits after that rough Interlagos race. Bringing that back was definitely super important from the pit start. But overall, all season, I know I'm not going to be battling Mitch, Caleb, and Gavin when he's here. So thankfully, he missed those 4 races, which really helped me, you know, gain some ground on him. But overall, I know I just need to be consistent and supplement what Caleb's going to put up at the top, since just averaging top 5 around there will really just get us that boost in the team points to get up there.
Well, I mean, both of you, from a team point of view, Caleb, I mean, do you feel any consolation out of the team championship out of all this?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like I need to appreciate it for sure, because just think about it. We've talked about it before when Logan got his first podium, but, you know, he started with literally no experience really in this at all, and I don't even know what your goal coming in the season was, but I don't think third was technically even on the radar, let alone a team championship. So I'm super, super happy with everything he's been able to do. And I mean, for our little Stowe, Ohio Motorsports team, like that's pretty cool to finally get something like this for the whole team, like to our name for a championship in a very competitive, very, very fun, intense league like this. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we'll be proud of and we'll be celebrating for sure. So yeah, really, really proud of Logan and everything we've been able to do this year. We've got some pretty good results and glad we have something to show for it.
You guys are going to do a little bit more racing here in the second half of the season. You're going to be doing the ERL coming up here, I think. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you'll probably be back here in the FIS. I always say the more time you spend behind the wheel of this car, the more sharper your skills get. I think Logan's a very good example of that. Do you guys think you'll be better coming back next season in the FIS, considering that you're going to be doing a league in the meantime to help keep those skills sharp?
Yeah, I definitely think so, especially RL. Mm-hmm. Honestly, at least from my perspective, I know Caleb's got his stuff figured out, but definitely, especially coming into this last end of the season, especially here at Road America, I feel like I've figured out a lot. With normally my pace not being up at Caleb and Gavin and Mitch, obviously's level, like I kind of ended up pushing the car to a limit that wasn't comfortable or good, or just making the tires just die on me. So I think definitely more experience behind the wheel, and especially ERL with how quality that league is, can hopefully only help leading into FIS.
Yeah,
Well.
with that whole off season, kind of with or I should say off season, but the whole IndyCar debacle, it wasn't as much seat time as all of us were kind of used to. So this was the first like committed league we've been in for a bit. So definitely getting back in the swing of things there. And I mean, I know Logan's obviously improved a ton just in the season alone, but I feel like even myself here towards the end of the year have gotten a lot more comfortable in the swing of things. So yeah, I mean, I guess we just got to carry that momentum into ERL, and it's like I said, it's awesome for the team, super super cool achievement. So should probably carry that through to ERL in August.
Well, of course, I'll be calling that action as well. So look forward to seeing you guys. And, of course, Caleb, you won the ERL 500, Indy 500, so you got a title to defend there going into that league. Each one of you individually, start with Caleb and then go to Logan. Just shout-outs, friends, families, sponsors, each other, whatever you want to for the team championship coming out on top here in Season 6 here of the FIS.
Yeah, first of all, I thank you guys for the broadcast as always. Friends, family, whoever's tuning in tonight, thanks to you guys always. I know they enjoy it every week. So, and then Amigos Tequila, best Mexican food in Northeast Ohio. If you're ever in the area, so go check them out. Blossom Red Flowers too, and I mean, shout out our Stone Motorsports, I guess too, because that's again my little personal issue with this race is kind of being pushed aside now. So I'm really, really happy and proud of, myself, Logan, Joey, and Hayden as well. It's been a fun season and ultimately awesome to have that result too. So.
Now you did get the purple lap, so we'll give you that consolation as well. You get an extra point. You get an extra point out of that, yeah. Logan.
Yeah. Thank you guys for always putting on a great broadcast. I want to thank my grandparents for always tuning in and watching. My fiance Ashley for being okay with all the time I put into this.
That's the important one, yeah.
And then definitely I want to thank Caleb, Gavin, Scarlett, and everyone that has really helped me get a lot better. Caleb and Gavin have spent countless times watching laps that I've sent them asking for help. So it's definitely helped get me to where I can actually be a supplement for Caleb in a team championship perspective. But once again, Gary, Steven, thank you guys for putting on a great broadcast.
They've been getting harder to critique because they're getting better and better. Harder to find stuff to tell them, but
which isn't helping me anymore. I need you to nitpick me.
Good problem to have, though. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, congratulations, Season 6 champions. I will see you guys next in the ERL. I hope everyone follows me over there on the ERL starting August 1st, I believe, Homestead or Kansas. I can't remember which race is first there, but you guys will be participating over there. I'll be calling the action there for the ERN, the Elite Racing Network, and the ERL. So join us over there starting August 1st. Congratulations, and we'll catch you at the next one, guys.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you, Gary.
All right, now here we go. I've waited for so long to bring this guy into the booth and talk to him eventually, and I knew it was just a matter of time. And I missed some wins that he had in VOR when we weren't broadcasting and everything, but now here he is. And by virtue of being the best, I guess, amateur all season long, he is our amateur champion, my hero, Dan Marrera.
I promise to behave.
I was a little worried about that, but I figured you'd do this in class.
Yeah, Gary knows me, so he knows what I mean.
So let's talk about your season though. That you were really you were consistently the lead amateur car just about every single race. If you never won a race, never finished on the podium, but you're always consistently best in class. And at the end of the day, you start adding those up, and that totals a championship for you. Talk about your season. When did you think that you had a shot at this? And how do you feel about getting this the big title? Because I know Jim's going to be pretty happy for you at 4D.
Yeah, it was a point strategy the whole season. I started and I was just planning on showing up, staying out of everyone's way. Then as the season started going, I saw like the point standings and it said, well, you're ahead. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I figure, well, let's be smart about that, which is a first for me. I'm not the sharpest knife in the book. So I decided to just, well, the thing is that early in the season, I was trying to play the strategy game, but I'm racing alone, and strategy is not my forte. So I was trying to save fuel, and I don't know how to save fuel. So I decided from now on, I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can, safely, and whatever happens, happens. Safely was the key word there, and I think it paid off. I mean, like today, it was a really boring race in the sense that I wasn't even really trying. I was not gonna fight anyone. I was just looking at my mirrors. Like, I had Mia behind, who I know it's super fast and super aggressive. So I was seeing what she was doing to make sure that if she sent it, I was gonna give her room and not get taken out, because I was just watching the incidents just now, and she got into a couple of things with a couple of people there, and that's just her style of driving, and that's the kind of thing that I was trying to avoid, and the kind of thing that I avoided all season long.
Well, looking at your box score here for the championship, 6 top 10s. You're the highest ranked driver to not have a top 5, but 6 top 10s says that you are consistently around the big points payers all season long. So what's that?
I'm always lurking.
Always lurking. But first of all, can we see you back next season? When are we going to see more of you in other leagues, possibly? And, got any shout-outs or anything you want to give to friends, family, sponsors, you name it. Maybe get a teammate for you here next year.
I'm so tempted to say something stupid, but no. I'm just going to thank Jimmy Herrick and 4DRacer.com for letting me race his car colors and all the good stuff that I have got. The shoes are amazing. I had some Sparkos that I used to race, and I moved to the 4DRacer.com shoes. Love them. The gloves, so nice, so fresh, so comfortable, really good fit. The shirt, I'm soaked in sweat, but by tomorrow morning it's gonna be dry. I just hang it on the wall here, so the shirts are really good, so really dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a big ad, so sue me.
It's okay. It's okay.
All the stuff from 4DRacer.com is pretty cool, and thank you guys for letting me hang out. I always try to be low key on these series because I was the new guy, and I knew this is a very high level. You get Kevin Sanders and Velker and Cody. So I don't want to get in the way of anyone. So I'm just trying to, as always, be as clean as I can and try to give the fight with the guys who are at my same slow level.
I think you understate your ability. I think you were doing a lot of racing with those guys, and I think you did a great job. Well, congratulations, man. Again, I'm so very happy and thrilled to see you get you up in the booth here to talk to you. Of course, you're my hero, and I hope to see you back for season 7 and maybe in some other leagues that we broadcast. But congratulations, and please go celebrate and make sure Jim sends you a nice prize for finishing on the top step for all the amateurs here in the FIS.
Yeah, thank you, guys. And if I can promote my little streaming thing.
You can.
Sim Racing. I have just like 20 followers. So if you want to hang out, fine. I do like 5 races a week. Some pretty cool, some just fun. So
What's your channel name again?
Dan Morera, Sim Racing.
Dan Morera, Sim Racing. Okay.
Sim Racing.
All right.
You'll find me. And my OnlyFans, no.
Okay, now we got to let you go.
Yeah, I better go.
All right, thanks a lot, Dan. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring up the driver's champion and the winner of today's race. And I believe, Mitch, we got you here. Is that Mad Mike, what we're going to bring up in here too?
Yep.
All right, we'll bring in Mad Mike, the mad genius on the box. Welker, other than Mitch, other than you got a good start, and then Caleb ran you down and led about 3 laps, and then you guys came in for that pit stop. Was that a shorter fill than him? Because that was a half second shorter in the box.
I believe, yeah, that was a shorter fill. We only intended to go up to about maybe 9 laps at the most.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't fill all the way, so.
And
That's what we thought.
I actually cut you short even on that just a tiny bit because I knew that if we were gonna get that far, we'd be saving because the tires would be shot. So
Okay. Well,
yeah,
there you go.
so bare minimum I possibly thought we could put in the car.
Well, there you go. That's what we were kind of guessing, is that might have been a shorter fill. And then we thought that maybe Caleb, when he came in early, doing what we saw Will Power do a couple weeks here ago at Road America, maybe getting the over on you on that last stop. You guys not only answered swiftly but soundly by coming in, stopping, and then pulling out and staying out in front of them. And then you just kind of drove off with this. I mean, you pulled out to about 2.5 seconds, but never really any more than as he kind of was trying to keep up with you. But that once you got that little bit of a buffer, it seemed like it was smooth sailing from then on out. Anything of note in that second half of the race that challenged you at all, or other than that was just bringing the car home?
I was just a little bit concerned about the undercut possibility, but I'm glad I extended the extra lap just to get a little bit tire advantage, and we were able to put less fuel in the car overall,
Mm-hmm.
which shortened our stop, and I think that kept us out. So kept us out front rather. No, beyond that second stop, it was pretty smooth sailing. I mean, he did really well on the blacks the first stint, so I was prepared to do battle once more, but we ended up pulling away. So perhaps the lower fuel or the tire advantage helped us out there.
Yeah. I was very closely keeping an eye on the undercut, and I like it was a balancing act. We probably could have come in that lap or the lap prior, but I was not gonna let Mitch get undercut. Although
Right.
It was actually quite close.
We kept telling people all season long the benefits and the advantage, and it's an absolute fair advantage that he has somebody on the box with these strategies, and you're able to spot these trends and get Mitch in and out of the pits faster, sooner, quicker than everyone else, because you're out there spotting. You don't have to worry about driving the car. You're out there just doing one thing, and that's keeping an eye on times and your driver and how much of an advantage it is for other people in the race that don't have a spotter. So that just says a lot about to what you bring to Mitch and the team. But Mitch, my question for you is, I know going back into Discord midway through this season, you kind of made a post saying, I'm not being as sharp as I normally am. I don't know if you're a little distracted of things that were going on. I think maybe you had some school going on, some other stuff. But when the second half of the season got here, the sharpness returned, the Mitch that we saw in season 5 returned, and it really became your season to lose, really, at the second half of the season. Outside of Indianapolis, which you were contending for the lead and win there at Indianapolis, you finished the season 4 out of the last 5 winning, and possibly could have gone 5 out of the last 5 depending on what happened at Indianapolis there. But what was the light switch? What clicked for you the second half of the season versus the first half of the season that made you that much more dominant?
I finished up college. I graduated college, made my move, in with some friends, kind of across the state a little bit. And I think, I guess maybe just the change of scenery, change of life, I guess. Plus the fact that I was like, okay, we are losing a grip on this. We were sitting like third in points at one point, a little ways behind Gavin at the time, and I was just like, we got to lock in and like actually get back to what we were doing because with everything going on, I thought I could get away with just minimal testing because we thought we knew what we were doing with the tires and such. But even like those mistakes on the start at Mid Ohio, trying to think of where else we messed up, but we just really had to buckle down and do what we were doing before, which was get in before the day of, run our prep, get all our data we needed, and that combined with doing my moving where I did and finishing school, I think all came together to put me in a much better mindset and a much better competitive place for the back half.
Let me throw it over to my broadcast partner, Steven. Steven, any questions for Mad Mike or our champ now, Mitch Welker?
I think kind of for both in a lot of ways, because one of the things I think that really has played well, and I think you've talked about this before, Mitch, is one thing I've seen that is fundamentally different between you two is that you actually you actually work together. You have Michael Hurley up in that spotter stand, helping you out here with strategy, helping you with spotting. And not many other drivers do that. In fact, the only other one I saw tonight that had a spotter in the stand was Mia Race Svensson. It's one thing that I think we talked about before is that you have an extra set of eyes. You have someone who can see what other drivers are doing. You can you can go over a lot of data here as well. Do you think that how would you describe like how well you've been working together? Because it seems like you've been working together amazingly well throughout the season and the time you've been racing here.
I'll let Mike take that one if you want.
All right. Well, so I've known Mitch since 2018, and we've been great friends ever since. We've always kind of been on the same brain wavelength, which does help a lot. Is that it helps to have anybody up on the stand keeping an eye on things, but it really helps to have someone who is in the loop on everything, where like there are times where we just need complete sterile comms, and Mitch just needs to be able to focus, and I need to be able to do all my work in silence so that he can do that. There are times where we're just kind of chilling, and like I might need to coach him a bit more, or like towards the end of the final stint here, we were just kind of vibing.
Yeah.
And it takes a certain kind of chemistry to be able to work with each other from my side of things to be able to give the kind of feedback that your driver needs, because he's not the only one I do this for. I actually do this for the majority of our team. Like I also help Mia because she is in our greater IndyCar alliance. I do it for Matt Hollaba sometimes. Do it for Evan Adams, Jared Dixon. It just is kind of as I'm called up, as I'm required, and I have to kind of change my demeanor depending on who I am on the box for, because everybody needs kind of a different approach to stay in the right in the right headspace.
Yeah. I've found that when I've spotted for people that everyone's a little bit different. Mitch, before we do shout outs and everything, what's next for you on the IndyCar side of things? Road to Pro, going to try that. What about VCO coming up? Other leagues that are on your horizon? What's next for you?
VCO's not going to work because I got real life motorsport events on the weekends sometimes. But I will attempt to qualify for the iRacing Pro stuff We'll see if I'm one of the best 33. I'm not really sure. I tend to look pretty good in FIS, but you've dropped me into Indy Open or Elite or whatever they're some of the other leagues out there, and I ended up looking a little bit like a smaller fish. So we'll try our best though.
Pop on over to the ERL, and I'll commentate for you over there on Thursday nights starting in August if you want.
Potentially, yeah. I'll maybe look into doing that.
All right, what's next for you, Mad Mike? Going to be working the booth for working the stand for anyone else here coming up in the next coming races, or are you going to take a much needed break?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm probably gonna sign up for the Formula Super Series here.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know how much of the season I'll be able to do, but that does sound fun. I'm not very good in that car, but I enjoy it. And then of course I'm gonna follow Mitch and my team wherever any of them end up going. I think Nick has some stuff coming up too. Nick Sudik that I'm gonna be helping him with. And we'll just kind of see as it comes. I am greatly looking forward to. I'm going to give a shout out to actually Mia's spotter Will. He is going to be spooling fuel back up, and that's going to be That's actually where we all met was in fuel, and I really look forward to that because that's just fun.
Heck, I raced with you in fuel. I remember that.
I remember.
That was my foray into IndyCar. Like the first time I ever drove the IR18 was in fuel.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we tried to put a fuel on the schedule here at RaceVerse. We just didn't have. I hate to say business is too good, but I didn't have any openings for anybody, and I didn't have anyone else to transfer to streaming off of. So I know Will and I worked hard at that, but you guys got yourself another broadcaster, which is going to be good for you guys in the league. But we look forward to your guys' performance. I'm always big fans of your team and the guys that are on. Of course, Nick's one of our substitute broadcaster commentators every now and then, and so we always think very highly of him and the rest of you guys there. So best of luck. Finally, shout outs, anybody that you want to scream out to, thank, teammates, friends, families, whatever. Start with you first, Mitch, and then we'll wrap up with Mike if he has any shout outs, and then we'll let you guys go celebrate. So go ahead, Mitch, you first.
Yeah, of course. Firstly, a big cheers to Mike. He's been in the box every race this season, and he knows me at this point. I know him, and we just have that chemistry together. And he knows what I need, and I know what he needs. This is just a really, really great partnership across the board, even beyond FIS. So just super, super thankful, and I don't think we'd have the success we would if he weren't there to help out. Thanks very much to our Project 2 partners, LW Haugen, Open Medicine Foundation, and Lazy Rocket Vinyl. It's been great to have stickers in the car, and they really are true partners. So grateful for their support. Thanks to Will for his ancillary support, and Mia for tagging along, Jared for picking up some points for us over the season. He actually is the other Project 2 car, and we I believe we secured second in the team standings.
You did. Congratulations to that.
So yeah, that was partially thanks to him. He scored enough points to bump us over into second. So he had a rougher night tonight, hardware issue. But
ouch.
Steven understands that.
Appreciate him showing out when he has. Thanks to any viewers out there that may have been rooting for me. You probably weren't rooting for me because I win too much. If Alan's watching, thanks for watching. I know I send him the link every week. And oh gosh, who else we got? I don't know. Who you got, Mike?
You covered the majority of them, but obviously, shout out to Mitch because he makes my entire job that much easier. It's always one thing being a strategist, but it's a significantly easier thing being a strategist when your driver has so much pace.
Yes.
Yep.
And yeah, again, shout out to Mia and Jared. I know that they both didn't get to run a full season and they had their struggles, but they were great out there. I'm very proud of them both. And shout out to you guys because you guys put on a great show.
Thanks.
Well, we appreciate that. We got some things changing in the wind here, so next season will be a slightly different look, and we'll be in a new spot. But we appreciate your guys' acknowledgement of that. Like what we say, these things are never easy. They require a lot of time and money to produce, and at the end of the day, to just get a thank is sometimes get thanked is sometimes just good enough. So we appreciate that very much. Well, once again, I want to congratulate you both. This is your second championship in the FIS. You're now the career not only wins leaders here in the FIS, but you're now also the career champions leader here in the FIS. And no one's not any more than one. You have two, so that now you sit atop that crown. I'll AJ Foyt and Scott Dixon. So congratulations. Go celebrate. And we will see you. Hopefully all goes well next season. But maybe we see you before then, another one of our broadcasts.
Perhaps. Thank you guys very much for your broadcasts. And shout out to Scuderia Baba Booey. I know they watch too. They're the whole alliance.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
Mike, thanks a lot. Good to have you here on the joining us in the interview. Guys, go celebrate. Congratulations.
I think it's.
Oh, okay. Did you have something you wanted to add, Mike?
Oh no, I just thought it sounded really badly, but
all right. Well, you have a good you have a good one, and I'll talk to you later, buddy. All right, there we go. He might have. I think he was having some mic issues as well. As I think I heard him fall out once or twice. But
Yeah.
did we get everybody in? We got third place. So we just double check. We got third place. We talked to Hunter. We talked to Caleb. We talked to Welker. And then we talked to our team champions, which was Logan and Caleb. And we talked to
the amateur champion.
Amateur champion. We talked to Dan, who finished 8th tonight, but was enough to win the amateur championship. And then we just talked to our driver's champion and his spotter. And I got to tell you, next season, these guys that are in this league, and more of these guys, these gals, and more of these drivers, right? I think they're beginning to see, and we talk about it all the time. We've talked about a lot of the second half of the season, the pure advantage. And it's a free advantage. It's not taking advantage of the rules or anything. It's not even a cheat. It's just taking free advantage of the availability of having someone up on your, what we call, all it is someone else staring at a screen, running a calculator, maybe a spreadsheet. But someone, up on your cart, up on your stand, so to speak, that's helping you call the action, so you don't have to worry about the minutia of everything that comes along with iRacing and an IR18 IndyCar. It's you just drive, and that person, that spotter, the data strategist, the engineer, whatever you want to call them, they're the ones that take care of that for you.
Yeah, exactly. And let's not make two ways about it. Welker has never been any slouch of a driver.
No.
Even without that, but that extra benefit of having someone else run the numbers there, and especially someone you gel really well with, which Mitch and Michael do amazingly, that really has been a big difference maker in the clutch. It's been a big difference maker when they've been dominating. It's really been what's been keeping the dream going very strong. and I get the feeling that some of these guys, they're going to look at this and see that maybe I could rope one of my friends in with a spot for me, and that would be something I would consider for sure. But everybody's going to be looking at Welker's performance in the second half of the season and think, what can we do to match that? And there's definitely people out there like your Caleb Bensies, your Gavin Sanderses of the world. They are going to be looking at all this, and they're going to be coming on strong next season. I think this is going to be a great next season. Whenever it gets announced, I'm definitely going to be excited.
And speaking of next season, here is the schedule for Season 2 of the Go Squadera, I hope I'm saying that right, Go Squadera Formula Super Series. They will start off August 5th, which I believe is a Monday, at Spa, and then they'll go to Donington Park, Algarve, I hope I'm saying that right, Barcelona, the historic course there, Aragon, sounds like a character from Lord of the Rings, on the 16th of September.
But the track's actually pronounced differently.
Then they're heading to the Chicago Street Course, which is always a meme race. Then the Roval at Homestead, Barber, Belle Isle, and Road America. So they're going to finish at 3 IndyCar tracks there in the Formula Super Series. That is the announcement there. And you see at the bottom, there's your start time. So it's going to roughly start at the same time. And the key thing is right here, broadcast on YouTube by Turn 200. So check them out, Turn 200. Search them out right now on YouTube and add them, subscribe to them, click the bell, and then you won't miss out on a single one of these races starting August 5th. All right. And let's finish with Joey's art back up there, and let's bring our Twitter handles up here. The last time you'll get to see those before we kind of move on to other pastures. But that's really going to do it for tonight in this season. Once again, your podium for the Road America 125 presented by JSelmants Motorsports Art here at Road America. Pretty much it just kind of mirrored the standings. Mitch Welker, your winner and series champion. Caleb Benzie, second. Hunter Ingrev, third. Logan Spath, fourth. That's the fourth place finish for Logan was strong enough to move him up into third into the final standings here for the championship and allow Stowe Motorsports to win the team championship with Caleb and Logan as their drivers. And then, of course, my hero, Dan Marrera, your amateur champion. Join us next when the FIS returns later this season or later this year for Season 7. However, very soon you can see many of the same stars of the FIS in action starting Monday, August 5th in the Formula Super Series. Coverage begins around 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time over on the home of the FSS, Turn 200. For the correct start time in your area, be sure to tune to their YouTube channel at youtube.com/@turn200. Again, that's the URL is youtube.com/@turn200. And we wish every one of the drivers and team and the team at Turn 200 the best of luck in their upcoming season. Today's coverage is sponsored by JSelmants Motorsports Art. Get your own hand-drawn racing artwork for your favorite driver, livery team, or motorsports moment to hang in your home. To see more of Joey's work or to contact him for your commissions, follow him on Instagram. The link is in the description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash on Facebook, to learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter today. Again, links are in the description. So for Stephen Larkamp, Kyle Clinsworth, Clindy, Mark Murphy was here, everyone at the FIS. I'm Gary Gatto, the voice of the FIS, saying to all good night. Thanks for watching. And to all the men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Once again, congratulations to our new two-time series champion, Mitch Welker, amateur champion, Dan Marrera, team champion, Stowe Motorsports, and the entire all the drivers that finished on the podium today. Catch many of these same teams and drivers again on August 5th for the start of the Formula Super Series at Spa with full flag-to-flag coverage over on Turn 200. With that said, we will be back, and you can catch all of the action Season 7 later this year for the next race of the Formula Indy Series. Good night, everybody.